Hello everyone, welcome back to the Power BI project tutorials course. This is the email marketing dataset analysis project. In this particular project, we are going to focus on the target audience that are most likely to subscribe to our email newsletter based upon the dataset. We have already seen how can we clean that dataset and remove the inconsistencies. In the previous video, we have already seen how to create these different visualizations. Now I have made a few changes into the way their labels are looking so as to get a better view as a whole, right? If you want, you can also make those changes. Like for the pie chart, you can just select the visualization, go to the format tab, and for the detail labels, make sure that the label position is selected to inside. So you would be getting these kind of labels. For this particular chart, what you can do is select it, go to this detail labels option. Here, first of all, I have changed its color to white so that the information or the numbers are present in the white color. Then what I have chosen is I have toggled this show background option to on, changed the background color to black, and reduced its transparency to 0 for a better viewing experience, right? Next, what we are going to do is talk about the visualization, that is with the filters. So I'm going to get a basically chart. It is going to be a column chart that is going to show me that how many people have subscribed by state and by city. Now when I'm talking about states and cities, there are a large number of states from where the people have subscribed. So I just want the top 5 states and the top 5 cities. So how am I gonna apply this visualization? So first of all, let me get the visualization which I'm going to use and go into its focus mode, right? Now the parameter that I'm going to use is state. Let me get its state into the axis part and the count of state into the values part, right? So this is the kind of the values that I'm getting, which are not at all looking good. So what I'm going to do is go to this filters pane. Here is the state option. If I just get into this, so there is this option of filtering type. So I'm going to select this top n filter. Now what this top n filter does, it helps us to identify that how many top values you want. I want the top 5 states, so I can just simply type 5. In case you want a bottom 5 values or bottom any number of values or bottom n values, you can even select the bottom option as well. Then you need to specify the value, so it is going to be by the count of state. So let me just get this state into the by value option, and if you want count of state but first state is being shown, you can just go to this arrow option and select count from here, and then once you click on apply filter, the changes would be applied. And here we are getting the top 5 states from where we are getting the most number of subscribers. So what we can do is we can just format it a little bit, like I want the detail labels to be shown like this, and let me just make those changes as I did before. Like the color is going to be white, the position is going to be on the inside end, so as to get them like this, and I'm going to get a background to be shown, and the background color is going to be black, and the transparency is going to be a 0%. So all of the labels are being shown except for Delhi. So what I can do is change its position to outside end probably. Yes, so now we are getting all the labels over here, right? Then if you want, you can just change the data colors as well. I'm going with a darker shade of blue to get a better looking thing over here. You can go back to report, and here you can just change its size and its title. Like for the title, I'm going to go with people signed up by state. So people signed up, and by state is going to be the title. Okay, so this is all right for me. I'm happy with this. If you want, you can just change the size as per your wish. That's totally up to you. Next, let's work with the cities. So I hope you all have understood how can we work with the cities. It's going to be the same process, exactly same. So let me just quickly go through that process, and I hope you all will follow along. So first of all, drag city into the axis and count of city into the values. In the city visual, I want a top n filtering, so top n, and I want the top 5 cities by the count of the city. So let's get this count of city over here, and like this we can select the count of city. Once we have done, we can just click on apply filter. Then what we can do is go to this data colors and change its color, but that's a personal choice. If you want, you can just work with the same color as well. Now if you want, you can just add labels as well for the city option. Again, if I want to change the title, I can just change it to people signed up by city. I have already copied that information, people signed up, and I'm just pasting it again and again. Next, what I'm going to do is actually remove this legend part from here because it's taking too much space. Okay, and I'm just going to make some changes into the legends so that we can get it into some lesser amount of space, like this one over here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is work with the visualization, that is by the year, the enrollment year that we are getting. Okay, enrollment year and the enrollment time are the only two things that are left. So let's work with the enrollment year. So we are going to work with a waterfall chart for this purpose. It is used for these kinds of purposes, like where we can get the increment and the decrement in the numbers. So this option enrolled on date needs to be taken over here. We are getting the increase, the decrease and the total, and then the count of the values. Right, so we are getting that in every year there has been an increase in the number of subscribers. There has not been any decrease, and then the total values that we are getting. So again, what I'm going to do is just change the data colors and make sure the data labels are on, so as to get an information about them, and just change the colors. So here we have the sentiment colors instead of the data label colors. So let's just go with the darkest shade of blue possible for this increase and a lighter for a total. Again, what we can do is just change its title, that people signed up by year. Okay, so it's looking good. We can adjust it like this. Now what I'm going to do is work with one more visualization, that is people signed up by time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go with this simple stacked column chart basically for this, and I'm going to get enrolled on time on the axis and the count on the values part. So let's see how it is looking. It's looking good. That tells me that most of the enrollments that I got is on the 12 p.m. time, with the subsequent decrease on the both sides, the left and the right sides. But after 9 p.m. there was a scattered number of signings. So this is the target time that I should go for. So this is a really simple one. What I can do is just change its title to people signed up. Okay, and press enter, so as to get this kind of a visualization with the particular title. I can just select on back to report option to get a full look at that particular visualization. Right, I can just change its size as well. Yeah, change its size and position. So now what happens is we have covered almost every thing that we had available, right? All the things, all the constraints that we had have been covered by us. Now what is the time to use some of the cards? Now what is a card? It is an important part of a dashboard or a report that is used to get you to show the information in just one glimpse. Right, like I can get the important information like the number of active users, how many users are active that have been signed. So that is present in the status. If I get into the fields pane, so it is giving me just the first status, and if I just hover it down, it is giving me a count. That means the total number of people who have signed up. I am not getting this active value. So what can I do? There is a trick for this kind of a thing. And what is the trick? First thing is that you have to select the visualization and drag this particular status into that particular filter, like filter on this visual. Now the first thing you need to do is filter the visual and select active from here. Okay, because we just want the active users. Next, what we can do is just drag the status into here, fields, and make sure the count is selected. And once you do that, you see only the active users count you are getting. If you want to change what is being shown over here, like not the count of status, you want the number of active users, right? Or just the information that active users. So active users, you can just select active users from here. So this information would be shown by this particular card. We can just copy and paste the card, another version of the card, because we want to show some other information. As per the states, we can see that if you just go to the states chart, we see that we are getting most of subscriptions from the Telangana state. So let us communicate that information as well. Okay, so this time what we are going to do is add this constraint of states. So let's just remove this active users constraint and clear up this filter as well. There is this option to remove filter, the cross option. Let's just select that, and we are going to add a state filter. Now what is the state that we are going to do? Let's just go with Telangana. So let's just search for that particular state and apply it. Then go to state and just drop it here. Change it to the count of state. Okay. And that would give us the number of users from Telangana. So you can see here and change its title to users from Telangana. Right. So as to communicate that this is the state from where we are getting the most number of users. Next, we can just target the user based upon their marital status or gender, or basically any of the criteria that are available. You can take up that criteria. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the gender as the criteria, that is how many users from the gender that is most subscribed gender for us. So as to target that particular gender of users. So let's just get it over here, and as we can see, we are getting most of the male users. So let's just select male from here, and here we can just select the count of gender into the fields. So the count of gender. Next, what we can do, most subscribed gender or most subscribed males users or male users, basically any name that you want, you can just give it to it, that is male users. So that's it for this particular video. In the next video, we are going to see the basics of report creation and how basically are we going to organize all these visualizations. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.